This is Janine Schultz with the Chicago Tribune. I'm standing here with Jake and Sam from Greta Van Fleet at Lollapalooza. How are you guys?
Excellent. It's a beautiful day. You know what? And what's even more beautiful than this lovely day is you. You know that?
Thank you.
You look lovely today.
So I think the question on everyone's mind, when are we getting the full-length debut?
Here's the diplomatic answer. This year.
I want the real answer. Is it done and you're just waiting for the opportune moment, or we're like tinkering every 5 seconds?
Well, being honest, I think it was about that close to done as we put it earlier. We couldn't quite gauge it yet exactly, but it's very, very near completion. I think at this point it's still a constant steady flow of touring, so it's very difficult to sort of find the smallest insular bit of time to be able to go and just finalize it, but it's right there, and I think that it should be coming out soon, before the end of the year. Yeah.
So it's not like a control freak thing. It really is a matter of time.
No.
And
I think that we kind of wanted to keep it a bit raw. We wanted to keep it as the performance happened in the studio.
And I want to talk a little bit about your influences, because I think people bring up the Zeppelin thing a lot. Talk about some of, them and just kind of like the other bands have kind of influenced, your sound. I mean, because it's truly that 70s raw rock.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up around, unlike a lot of other contemporary artists as we are now find ourselves in around a lot of vinyl and a lot of things that were early on influential as far as blues records and a lot of traditional roots music like Elmore James, Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, Robert Johnson, all of the Kings, and then you had soul and R&B music, and that was like Aretha Franklin, it's like Etta James, and I think it's such a wide variety,
an amalgamation, an eclectic bunch of musicians that early on.
And is that you guys just like going through your parents' stuff, or like discovering things online that just older?
That was, when we had our parents' record player and a lot of these vinyls that were laying around, and it was kind of at that young age more like a toy in itself, where it was like, here's this CD or this vinyl I'm going to put on here is a source of entertainment. And then later we started listening to what was coming out, and it was like, so we started listening to it. So I mean, just early influences through a lot of that was how it kind of initially began, love for music.
And I guess, is there a hope or even maybe like a mission with the band to kind of bring younger fans of your music to, like, hoping that like they'll go back and dig deep and start researching the people that influenced you?
Absolutely. I think that's a greater part of it, to sort of not necessarily be informative, but to sort of inspire our generation to, which they do, but look back in the past and sort of realize what was left behind to further advance, to evolve into the future.
Do you guys feel like you're kind of on an island in kind of this like guitar rock kind of environment with the current state of radio and stuff?
I think there were some forerunners to the style, like let's say even Rival Sons, Kaleo. It's maybe a little bit more in the alternative realm, but I think there's a lot of guys who are out there making pretty great rock and roll.
Monkeys.
Yeah.
And just kind of ended on a light note, I want to talk about your grandma was really integral in your style and your clothing, and is always buying you guys stuff to wear on stage.
Yes, and we'll come home after being gone for 2 months, and then there's a big pile of clothes that she said, oh yeah, just look through them, and if you like anything, just take it. And she's even designed some clothes for us. Yeah, she's an incredible woman.
Awesome. And thanks so much for being with us. Again, this is Greta Van Fleet, backstage at Lollapalooza. I'm Janine Schultz with the Chicago Tribune.